Hello everybody, this is Elijah Keating from wisdomseekers.net, and I'd like to tell you we are a really good group of readers. And it's not just me, there's a few of us. We have honesty, integrity, and above all, we have accuracy. Fairly high accuracy. When it comes to readings, our accuracy rate is above average. But this is for fire this week. For Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. It's from April 14th to the 20th, 2019. So we are moving along quite rapidly. We're either in the spring or the fall, wherever you may be. So the first card that I pulled is Sadness and Isolation. And I don't believe that is about us being in sadness and isolation. I think it's more the fact that for the last years, but since January, it's been a more releasing and releasing and more releasing, and well, along with more energy coming in. But the releasing, see, you can see here, they're curled down in themselves. They're releasing so that they can fly and be their true selves. And I believe that's more what this card is about, that is letting go of that which has held us in place for many eons, because we can't stay there anymore. So the first card is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles, can you see that clearly? It's a card of the physical earth. Predominantly, that doesn't exclude it from being very spiritual. There's a lot of energy roaring around, so which means that same thing as last week and the week before and the week before, we're going to have more energy coming in. It has to do with abundance this week. And so here, where it's pushing the old energy out, might be that we're pushing the old energy of poverty consciousness, which many of us have, or insufficient consciousness, and it might be pushing that out the window. And it's high time. Does that mean it's going to be a really easy week and everything's going to come in with a great abundance? It depends. In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. Some cases, the poverty consciousness will be so powerful that you will probably go have debts come that you weren't expecting. They will leave. By the end of that week, it will have left. And for those that receive overwhelming abundance, glory in it, enjoy it. So that is the basis of the card. We have things coming in, and it has to do with abundance. And that what covers us is the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands, as a young man, is sort of hither and yon. He just jumps in, jumps out. All young people do. Mostly young people do that, unless they're very, very, very focused. But as an energy, he carries the reveal of new ideas and new thoughts, which, with your getting rid of the feeling of poverty, new ideas and new thoughts are going to come in, that's for sure. And the feeling should be, and this is behind us, which gives us the chance to create this week as a time of abundance, is the Empress. And that means you've done a lot of work on receiving and achieving and dealing. You've dealt with your subconscious. You're open to having beautiful things around you. And beautiful things depends on the person. It could be an old shack in the woods surrounded by great, beautiful trees. Could be a 5-bedroom mansion. Everybody has their own form of beauty, or what they choose to call beauty. But you have worked on it, and that's the most important thing. And what's just below us, and it might be that it's happening today, ready for tomorrow, is the Tower. So which that means that you have released a lot of your ideas and thoughts. That is why The sadness and isolation shows moving beyond. That is why the energy coming in will swoosh that energy out, because you've already worked on it. And what will that bring you right in front of you, which today or tomorrow or an hour from now is Two of Cups. And what is the Two of Cups? It's the balancing of the male-female energy. It's the balancing and creating that which is in balance. It's grounding. And when you have that balance, things come to you naturally, because it is in balance to have sufficient. It is out of balance to have insufficient. So if you have stress and you have angst, it's just not enough, basically. So the Strength card is the card that's in front of the balancing. And the Strength card in my book, when you read about it, it says rising above your base animal instincts. Well, in this case, we've already raised above it. We've done all the work. It is raising above the level you were at before. And you're doing it in such a way that you do not need to call back into being. You don't need to call back into being the fears and the worry and the stress. So, and that, what does that bring us to? And that is 3 major arcana plus 4, and it's the Chariot. And what the Chariot is suggesting is that you move forward in balance, move forward, and if you get out of balance, it's fine. Just know how to bring yourself back into balance, and that is the trick. Getting out of balance is not a big deal. It's that you don't stay there. It's that you take a deep breath and pull yourself back in. And it also suggests you keep on doing things the way you have been doing them, which is obviously working, because you work very hard to pull in abundance. And obviously the Eight of Pentacles suggests that what you have done, what you are doing, is bringing in the abundance that you want. The Eight of Pentacles is a master craftsman working at his craft. He's content, he's happy with what he is. So you have sufficient. Sufficient is different for everybody. For some people, sufficient could be a little Corolla that's 10 years old sitting in your front yard. For others, it might be a BMW that's 2019. It depends on what is necessary for you to feel full and complete. It is sufficient. And it could be sufficient is really nice food on the plate, and nice clothes on your back, and no bills to pay. That might be sufficient. Or sufficient might be a trip on a cruise ship. And once in a while, having those wonderful, huge things is sufficient. Where you spend most of your life just staying at home, looking after life matters. Sometimes you need a vacation. So do not limit yourself to what is sufficient. And what is the last card? I do like this card, Sadness and Isolation, because it does emphasize very strongly how this week is going to go. You're going to go from there to shining. But the last card is coming together. So everything is coming together in a rather spectacular way. I would suggest strongly you all enjoy yourself thoroughly. And duck. When you have to duck, just duck. And when you don't have to duck, get out there and dance in the storm. Namaste.